We are going to dive into things. We've got a jam-packed call, and I am promising that we are going to be in and out 45 minutes or less. One of the things Jess and I talked about last week is like an hour's too long, right? So 30 minutes is good, 45 minutes tops. We've got mad things to cover in the next 44 minutes. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys. First and foremost, we have, what do we have? 40 people on the line. We want to double that in the next 60 seconds and like get over 100 in the next 2 minutes. So I want you to send someone brand new, be like, you don't know anything about our team except you need to be a part of it. So hop on this call, right? I want you to message someone upline, downline, crossline, and just be like, team call is now, drop the link in there. Say something like, hey, you're going to learn from 3 superstars who are brand new and what they're doing and how they're immediately like flying out of the gates. You need to get on this call, right? And we're going to continue just to drive our numbers up and make sure absolutely nobody misses anything from the team call tonight. So with that being said, what do you guys think? You want to go ahead and start with some recognition, because I have a little bit of laryngitis already thinking about reading this to you guys. So we're going to start with team win. Carol Klepsper, brand new Crystal Director. Whoop, whoop. You guys, that's a $750 bonus, plus $100 for each new consultant. I'm not sure how many were created from last week to this week, but a minimum of $850 is what she got, not including PIBs or cycles or anything else. So way to go, you guys, huge, huge accomplishment. Top enroller on Team Win, Jack Callagher, 11 enrollments. Oh my gosh, lucky number 11. Pamela Frederick, 7 enrollments. Ann and Jim White, 6 enrollments, and with 4 enrollments, Erica Rockenberger and Michelle Parks. You guys are absolutely crushing it. And Dreamers in Action, our top enrollers are Nicole Simpson. You guys are going to hear from her tonight. Aubrey Petty, Jenny Thompson, Kristen and John Ronovic, Tammy Scott, Sheila Sands, Kathy Durnick, Tim Scott, Emily Pierce. You're going to hear from her tonight. Laura Laurie and Kim Simpson. Brand new consultants, Aubrey Petty and Nicole Simpson, who's on the cusp of Crystal Manager as well. So you guys, super, super fun. Congratulations to both teams. I just love that we continue to see old school names, that people are just not taking their foot off the gas, they're doing the do, and then new names that it's like, what in the world, who are these people and where are they coming from? Because I got this little reminder from Isagenix in the email, it was on the forefront of my mind to bring it up to you guys. What is the date to hit Crystal Director? Someone type it in the chat. Tell me. First person wins. Just kidding. What is the date? What's for the Crystal Reset? Not if you're brand new. April 24th. Way to go, Ann White. So if you're brand new, right, and you were enrolled, you know, after the Crystal Reset that happened when we were at NYKO, then it's 120 days after your associate date. Okay, so you have your own dates. But if you were enrolled, you know, before the end of last year, basically when the Crystal Reset went into place and everybody's eligible to go through those rank advancement bonuses again, the manager date has passed. Many of you got it. Put a 1 in the chat if you got the Crystal Manager bonus. And the next one is Crystal Director, which is 6 personally enrolled consultants that all have 2 people. $750 bonus plus $100 for each new consultant that you enroll, right? That goes and finds their 2 up until the 20 times that you have done that. And the deadline for that is April 24th. Okay. I'm 2 away. I've had 4 on my path to 6 of creating new ones. I'm doing this alongside with you guys. And I will tell you, I looked at my husband last night or yesterday. Yeah, Sunday. What's today? Yeah, yesterday. Gosh, the daylight savings has me all kinds of screwed up. But after we did a little bit of our upgrade with some bonus miles for Fiji, we did have to pay just slightly extra for Economy Plus. I was like, don't worry, babe, I got it. Crystal Director bonus, it's all paid for. So you got to have a why of what you're doing for it. And if anybody's bold enough to type in the chat your why on what that Crystal Director bonus will do for you, it's somewhere between $750 and $1,150. Not including, right, the 20% PIBs or cycles along the way. I'd love to just see some accountability here and some vulnerability. What does that bonus do for you or your family? Maybe it pays off a credit card. Maybe it, Emily, thank you for sharing that, pays off some debt. Maybe it pays for a little bit of a spring break. Maybe it's a little bit of a shopping trip, a little bit of volunteer contribution. Laura says $750, Mexico, baby. Woo, woo. Where in Mexico are you going? I want to know, daughters dance. You guys, this is why we do it. And I want you to see bathroom remodel. Ooh, Emily's doing some shopping for the bathroom. Lights, counters, what's happening over there? Confidence, Teresa, that it's a boost that she can do this. I love that. Vacation, You guys pay attention to this and hold your team accountable. But the other thing is, remember these stories when you're talking to people about how many women want to diversify their income, how many people want additional streams of revenue, how many people want to, you know, just have additional cash flow. It's for all of these reasons. And that's why it's so fun with what we get to share. So I am going to copy and paste 3 scripts for you guys today. Remember, we are going to start our calls with some reach outs. And I didn't want to talk so fast that you didn't know what I was saying. So I proactively typed these up. Jess was like, what about the reach outs? I said, I'm on it. Don't worry about it. And I just put them in the chat. Well, I'm about to hit send. I'm going to put them in the chat because if you were like me, my head spun after Jessica's verbiage. I've listened to that call twice. I'm still trying to type up the notes and write down everything. It was pure gold, but I just said, if we're going to be really, really efficient with our reach outs, I want you guys to have it. You can copy and paste it and then voice memo it or text it. But I personally, I'll tell you, I loved last week when Jess said, get clear on who do you know in the real estate industry. And it wasn't just realtors, right? But the mortgage industry, the lenders, the realtor, anybody in that, if those are types of people that are looking for additional types of income. And she also said, people do you know that are like behind a chair, right? Like estheticians or hairdressers, that type of practitioner, because it helps you identify who on your list, who's the avatar, who do we really want to attract, who's looking for these market disruptor products and who's looking for additional income. So that being said, I want you to identify people in 2 categories tonight, okay? One of them is health practitioners. So think about the nutritionist, think about your physical therapist, think about your personal trainers, think about acupuncturists, think about chiropractors. I want you to think about your health practitioners that love to make a difference in people's lives, right? They got in that industry because they want to help people, especially in health and wellness, but they exchange time for money and are desperately looking for multiple streams of revenue, leveraged income, passive income, and another solution to offer to their clients. So jot down a few names, right? Right now, as I'm going through that list, think about who do you know in the health practitioner world: chiropractors, physical therapists, acupuncturists, nutritionists, personal trainers, naturopathic doctors, herbologists, okay? You should at least all have a list of a few names. And if you don't, go to Instagram and type in nutritionist Denver, right? No, don't prospect my city. Do nutritionist Iowa City, just kidding, right? And find people in Iowa City. Type in nutritionist Atlanta or something, right? And you're gonna find all kinds of people. You can use Instagram and Facebook for a search that way. The other category I want you guys to think about is new moms. Okay, I taught my class, I teach at the nutrition school right before this. And one of my new students was on there and just vulnerability. She's like nursing, she's in class. She's like, I just had a baby. My whole world is upside down right now. I'm trying to adjust. And I just keep thinking, how many moms can fall in love with this business and the pockets of their time and the privacy of their home that really can look at this? So think about anybody you know that recently had a baby or is about to have a baby, friends and family, people you know on social media, colleagues, a niece, you know, whatever that may be, and have a couple of names on that list. That being said, here's the script. I told you I had them already typed out. So I just gave you 4 examples of verbiage. Now these are templates. I want you to be able to personalize them. I want you to tweak them a little bit to make them your own, but I'm going to read them to you because I want you to hear my voice and I want you to hear my excitement, because the way this comes across, if you just text it, or if you've got like an Erica Rothenberger whoop, whoop, behind your voice, right? You've got a Laura Lori, like ooze and joy just like comes out of her coming through the message. People are going to pay less attention to what you said and more attention to what you're vibrating and what you're so thrilled about. Okay. So if you just text this, your response rate is going to be less, right? If you can actually voice memo it, people are going to get back to you. So the first one is, friend, look at these pics. This is a friend of mine. Yes, it's that good. I couldn't keep it to myself. And then you drop like your most favorite freaking before and after collagen picture in there, right? So Ann White, she's my good friend, right? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, friend, look at this picture. This is one of my closest friends, Laura. It is too good to keep to myself. Check it out, okay? That's the first one. The second one is, hey friend, sorry, I'm muting you guys. Hey friend, you've got to check this out. I know we're all looking for a product that's a true game changer. This is it. We're all wanting to look and feel younger. You've got to check this out, okay? Then drop some pictures in there. You've got to have the excitement. You've got to have the enthusiasm in there. People I know are marveling at this product. You have to take a look. You'll be in awe. Everyone I know wants results like this. Then this one's a little bit of a business approach. So this one, if you're back to those practitioners, you're thinking about who's looking to diversify their income. Hey friend, I'm reaching out because you're at the tippity top of my dream team. As I put my list together, I keep thinking of ideal business partners and your name comes top of mind. I would love to connect with you. There's no doubt in my mind we'd crush this together. Okay, you've got 3 different scripts here. They're all there, so you can copy and paste. I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock. Okay, we're coming back at 7:16 or 9:16 East Coast time. The goal is a minimum of 5 reach outs, 1 per minute. If you guys can exceed that, it's amazing. Okay, I'm doing it right alongside with you. You've got 5 minutes. Ready, set, let's go. One more minute, guys. Let's keep it going. Put a 2 in the chat if you already have 5 reach outs. All right, guys, how we doing? Everyone get some reach outs in? Anyone get some responses right away? I will tell you, because I did my work call, I do those on Monday mornings. And I was using this Tippity top of the dream team message earlier with them as well. This is the message I sent out, and I just sent it to 5 chiropractors in a different city. It just says, hey, gorgeous, how are you? You keep popping into my feed as a suggested friend, and I wanted to reach out. Looks like we have a lot of people in common. I love connecting with other practitioners and entrepreneurs and would love to share stories and see how we can support one another. Let me know if you have a couple minutes for a quick call or virtual Zoom. Right? Boom, copy and paste, sent to 5 chiropractors and acupuncturists, just like that. Okay. So save these scripts when you're like, okay, I'm waiting for my kid to get out of dance class and they're running late. You've got 5 minutes. I want you to see how fast you can work this business in the pockets of your time. All right. We're going to be doing this every Monday to just show you that this business isn't hard. You just got to be consistent. You just always got to find new people to talk to. So I feel like a lot of times we get to hear from amazing, amazing leaders, right? People who are 3-star, 4-star, executive, millionaires in the company, and learn from some of the best, which is great. But I also think sometimes it's awesome when you get to learn from brand new people. When I tell you brand new, like brand new, just people that have that fire, people that are so coachable, right? They're just like ignorance on fire, that naive excitement that is so relatable, and you can see the people that are out there that are really looking for this and what they're doing. So the longer we're in this and the more scripted we become, or the more polished we become, and sometimes it's less easy to relate, or we get in our own way, or other people are like, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to talk like Holly, or I'm never going to be able to sound like Kim, and we do all that stuff, which is not true. We are, comparison is the thief of joy. But I love to just bring it back to the basics. So when I tell you that this is like an unrehearsed call, I texted these ladies this morning or at lunch today, and basically just said, I'm so impressed with what you're doing in such a record period of time. Can I interview you on the call tonight? Just tell your story, what you're up to, so people can be inspired and learn from you. So you're going to hear from 3 ladies tonight. And the first one that I get to introduce is Emily Pierce. So she is enrolled to Laura Laurie and comes from a medical background. I'll let you kind of tell her story. But I had the pleasure of doing a Zoom call with her, kind of hearing a little bit about her background. And I just thought, okay, first of all, you are so relatable to why so many people end up leaving their corporate America job or switching careers and coming over to this industry. But I'm also wildly impressed that she hit consultant in 24 hours. She's enrolled a handful of people in less than 2 weeks. And Laura is driving down to Tennessee because she's got this really fun party planned, and they're doing some business training because she's just ready for it. So Emily, if you could unmute for me, please, I would love for you to just tell your story, like how you got introduced to Isagenix, what made you pop over and decide that you wanted, I said, see, pregnancy brain is real. Laura's in there saying Kentucky. They're all in the mid-Southwest to me, but she's in Kentucky. But anyways, Peter's in Nashville, right? In Tennessee, there's somebody that she's going to in another state. But anyways, Emily, if you could unmute and just tell us about how you first learned about Isagenix, why the timing has changed, and what you did right off the bat to be able to go consultant, and how you're promoting this party.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can, but you turned off your video. Oh, there you go.
Am I here? All right. Hi, so I'm Emily. I'm from Kentucky. So I'm a nurse practitioner, and I kind of got into this business because I was being overworked. I felt stressed out. I ended up leaving being a nurse practitioner full time, and was a stay-at-home mom. And then I spoke to Laura, who is a friend of my mother-in-law's, and kind of asking her questions about what she does, because I always see what she does on social media. And we talked, and she showed me the compensation plan, and I've used Isagenix before and I loved it. So it was just kind of that thing that I've already used it before. I already like it. Why not? So Laura is coming down here on Sunday, and we're going to host a little sips of champagne and do different samples, and really kind of, I think this will hopefully drive for more people to be interested in the product, just because a lot of people just want to try it. They want to come meet face to face and learn about it, and we can show pamphlets or pictures or whatever. So enrollment was pretty easy, just because I knew family that was interested already in like weight loss and getting better nutrition. I've got a very large family, so it was it wasn't hard for me with that part, but I'd like to obviously expand and, get other people that I know, more friends, and even people I didn't even think about like reaching out on social media to people we don't know. But I think that's a great idea just to be able to, kind of pinpoint people who are in the healthcare field or in the cosmetic field for sure. So I'll be definitely doing that this week.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So first of all, I love that you went to your friends and family and they trust you. And the part that I want to just repeat back that she said was like, I already love the product. I already knew it was good. Like, why not, refer this? She's seeing a lot of other people in her social network, dive in and, kind of get into the direct selling or like social selling industry. I would love for you to dive just a little bit deeper into her story, like some of those pain points that you told me and Laura, because this is how people know there's people out there that are just looking for this, truly praying for this, like what it was like at your job, what you told me about the hours and in sick care. And then also what you've kind of done right off the bat. Laura's checking in here, totally coachable. I agree. So like that initial post on social media, getting on team calls, doing some three-way messages. Like, you are doing the do right now. Laura wouldn't be driving 4 hours each way to work with you if you weren't showing up in an explosive way. So if you can touch just a little bit more in depth there, I would be so grateful.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So with my nurse practitioner background, I was working probably close to 60 hours a week. I didn't see my kids. I saw maybe an hour before I drop them off at daycare. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and then maybe 2 hours when I would pick them up, and it was exhausting. I was fried. I was over it. I probably cried to my husband every night how much I hated my job. But I'd signed a 2-year contract with this company. So I saw that out. I tried to get less hours and they wouldn't bend with me. So that's kind of why I said, you know what, it doesn't matter. I was making good money doing that, but sometimes money's not everything, especially when it comes to your family. So unfortunately I had to walk away from that. But I've never been happier. I think it was a blessing that in disguise, because now I'm home with my kids. My little girl's in kindergarten. My boy goes to daycare just like 2 days a week now. So it's great. I've got flexibility. I've got time for this that I can invest in. So I'm looking forward to it. I really hope that, it just kind of comes natural to me. I've never been in the business world or the marketing world where you kind of have to sell yourself. So I think that'll be my learning curve, but learning from everybody here and all the support that you all have given, I don't think it's going to be, difficult. So
Oh my gosh, you're so smart. It's so true, you guys. And I really hope you hear some of those pain points. I mean, that she signed this contract, but she was coming home and crying and she's not seeing her family and the money's not worth it, because sometimes I think we feel like the people that come to Isogenics are broke, right? And they're desperate for extra income. There's a lot of people that come to Isogenics that are fine financially, but they are looking to be able to contribute to the family income. They want to be able to do something, they're unfulfilled because they want to have a career, but it's not worth, being away from their families. And I'll just, say I have seen Emily and how coachable she is. That from the day she got enrolled, she got on the team call. I think this is 3 weeks in a row. She understands Monday nights. She blocks it out. She gets on the team call. She posted on social media right away. She's watching some videos and doing three-way messages with Laura. Has this amazing event planned, that they're just going to invite all her friends and family to, do her board of director meeting. I'm sure she's going to go crystal manager, if not crystal director, right off the bat. But she's so coachable. So when Laura talked about putting a post up, she sent over a picture, she sent over some verbiage, and was like, what do you think about this? And it gave us some time to be able to like tweak it a little bit and say, well, we've seen this work really well. Are you open to this suggestion? And she's just continuously enrolling right off the bat from just these simple steps. So we're so excited to have you, Emily. And I encourage you guys, follow her and go look at her post. It's such a beautiful post. She did 2 back-to-back, one about the products and one about the opportunity, and just her transparency while still creating curiosity that I think is so duplicative. So if you're ever like, what do I do for an initial post? Like, what do I tell like a brand new person what to post? You guys go look at her wall, go grab that verbiage. It's so authentic. It's so relatable, and is a great template to use with your team. So I'm going to introduce next Nicole Simpson. And we met a few months ago in a Facebook group. She just moved from St. Pete, Florida, like Tampa area, and was in a Facebook group that I'm a part of because it's a certain town in the Denver area. Basically said, hey, like I'm a relationship coach. I just picked up and moved across the country. I'm looking for additional income, but I want to be able to work from home and I want to have a flexible schedule. And I reached out to her and we went to coffee and she's like, I love all things beauty and I love all things wellness, but I just don't think this is for me. Right. And so I'm going to let Nicole kind of pick up from there, but she is so cute, so fun, again, so coachable. You guys, she has been enrolled for 6 days. She's halfway to Crystal Manager. She enrolled a handful of people over the weekend. I mean, I'm telling you, someone just came in with influence and fervor. I was like, what in the world? Like, I did not see this one coming based on how reluctant she was over the last few months. So Nicole, I'd love for you to kind of talk a little bit about your story and what made you all of a sudden jump in after all these months.
Hi guys, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so well, what made me jump in was Lauren did not stop getting on me about joining the team. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? This is meant to be. I take that as a sign from the universe that this is a team that I should be involved in. I was really reluctant at first because I'm like, I don't like to sell to people. I don't want to push people to buy a product. It's something that I'm kind of uncomfortable with, but as I talked more to Lauren, you know, we're recommending products every day to people that we use. So we do that very naturally, you know, oh, that's a cute decoration. Where'd you get that? Home Goods, you know, so it's, if you kind of put it in that perspective, it makes it a little bit easier. And they're products that I already use anyway. So it's like, okay, so that's kind of why I was reluctant at first, but I'm very happy now I'm a part of the team. Yeah, I moved from Florida 3 months ago. I'm a relationship coach, so it's interesting, but I ended my 5-year relationship and I said, it's time for a new start. And I picked up, drove with my 3 animals and came here, not knowing what I was going to get myself into. Makes me emotional, sorry. And so, yeah, it's really nice to be a part of a group of women and men who are so loving and supportive. So yeah, cheers to new beginnings.
You guys,
I said I wasn't going to get upset. Okay.
That's okay. And I said, and see, we feel raw in this community. It's here for you in the personal development and the love and support for everybody. So, you guys, we had met. She was like, I'm kind of interested, but she's like, I need to focus on this. I want to grow my business. I'm worried about it being a distraction. And then when I circled back to her and I said, hey, we have our Wind Down Wednesday event. And I said, I don't know if anything has changed for you. And I said, but it's really close to you. You can meet some other people. I think that you would be friends with them. If nothing else, just network a little bit. You can definitely check out more about the products and the opportunity. So will you tell just a little bit about maybe what that event did too with switching your belief and just kind of seeing what we're up to?
I'm sorry, can you say that last part again?
Just when you came to Wind Down Wednesday last week, like what that was like to see the community, see a presentation and how that maybe shifted things for you.
Yeah, you guys, there's a big difference between the energy that you get behind a computer or a screen and the energy that you get when you're involved with people and you're actually in their presence. It's, you know, I do energy work when I'm with my clients, and it's one reason I do a lot of my coaching through Zoom, because the energy can be pretty intense when I'm working with trauma and things. But to be in the presence of very uplifting, very, you know, happy people who are all looking to better one another, there's a big difference. I highly suggest trying to be involved and going to those groups when you can, where you're actually showing up and you're with the people and you're close to them. You can hug them, you can cry with them, you can, all those things. So that's kind of what that did for me. It made a big difference being in person.
So true. And she could see all these other stories. So she met Dr. Lindsay, you're going to hear from next. You know, Emily Sunderland was there, and my mom, who was like my very first personally enrolled. We had a couple other, you know, brand new guests there. It really just shows what we're up to. And I mean, that's the power of these events. People can see the science behind the products, they can taste them, they can look at them, they see the compensation plan, but it validates it. You know, I mean, I could have told Nicole until we were blue in the face that this opportunity is legit, you know, that these products are amazing. But once she saw other people, and it was like, okay, like they've normalized this and I don't have to sell, and I see how everybody's doing this. There was a huge shift for her. So I'm going to brag on her a little bit. You guys, she's super competitive. She's very much like, I said something about how fast someone recently went crystal manager. She goes, oh, well, I have to beat her. Which I laughed because I said, oh my gosh, you're like how me and Jess were, and just really competitive, not in a way that we are there to destroy one another, but to uplift one another, right? I'm like, man, if Jessica can do that, I can do it. I mean, Jess called me today talking about some new people in her organization and who she's working with. And I like ran upstairs to Ryan. I was like, oh my gosh, you're like, look at who Jessica's talking to. I mean, it had me so excited because I'm like, those people are out there on like a whole nother level. And so I love that about you, Nicole. But right off the bat, just literally walk through everything you did over the weekend, because I can say she was watching videos. I mean, I did not tell her anything about executive. And at one point on the phone, she's like, well, I'm going to need like 5 on the left and 5 on the right. And I was like, what did she get into? Because I had not gotten that far yet. And I was like, we're going to get there. And she was like, but I need 900 to cycle. And she was like counting the points. So, I mean, she would talk about like a go-getter. But just walk them through exactly what you did, like how you enrolled these first 3 people, how you got your mom to an associate, because this is the part that's so relatable for new people and for us senior leaders to remember like what to do with people brand new.
Yeah, so the first people I think of are the ones closest to me, right? You know, the ones who want to support you and love you and all those things. And so I went to them, and knowing what I know about energy and the subconscious work that I do, I said, you know, putting out an energy of force and need and desperation, it tells your mind that there's a perceived threat there. So it actually repels people from you. So my biggest suggestion is when you're going to on a call with somebody, you know, just have confidence in yourself, you know, relax yourself, calm yourself. It's all about the presence that you give and the aura and the authenticity that you're putting out there. So that's really what I did. I reached out to my friends and family first. And yeah, and then I just worked with the energy that I was putting out behind the people, behind the calls and behind the people I was trying to reach out to. So I just said, I'm good. And yeah, I did fall down the rabbit hole of what's to come, because I'm obsessed with learning. And so I'm like, I need to know everything about this company right now. And Lauren's like, slow down. We're not there yet. Okay. All right.
Well, she saw the compensation plan and she said $13,500 a week. And I said, she said, I can do that. And I said, well, my good friend Jessica Rigner is doing that ×2, and you're going to see her on our team call. So I'm glad you two are meeting. And now you know it's very, very, very possible. So we're thrilled to have you guys. But I'll say she kept it super simple. I mean, when I talk about people that match your intention statements, when I'm like, I'm looking for people who are coachable. I'm looking for people who are self-motivated. I'm looking for people who are intelligent, that want to lead people better than when they found them. I did not create one recommended cart for Nicole. She created all of them. She enrolled all of her people. I didn't put one of them in. You know, she upgraded herself to associate. And granted, we were texting a whole lot back and forth, and I was answering her questions. But she confirmed placement. She upgraded her mom to associate, helped her mom create a recommended cart. And that's the type of synergy that makes this business just fun. You know, when you think that we're trying to like manufacture consultants, it's like, oh my gosh, just give it to me and I'll create the cards for you and you do everything. There's no duplication. And I'm super excited for what lies ahead for you. Your energy is amazing. And I hope you guys hear that last part of what she's saying, that she just relaxed herself into it. She was super calm, confident with what she's doing. You can feel that because the conviction and the posture that's behind that and what you'll attract in is such a game changer. So thank you for sharing, and we're so thrilled to have you. You guys need to follow her because you're going to just be that girl just racing right to the top. So last but not least, Dr. Lindsay Regier. I know she worked until 7, but she was going to be driving home. So she might be popping in from her car on her phone, or she might have already been home already. I told her she'd go last, so she wasn't texting and driving or anything. But you guys, I literally walked into Dr. Lindsay's office last January. It's next door to a yoga studio that I go to, and I like saw this little sign out front about community events, and I was like, what is this place, you know? And I didn't even realize it was a chiropractor's office, but it felt different, and there was life coaching involved, and I just was like super impressed with it. And I called, there was no one in there, or they were with the patient, and I got like the number and I called and I was like, hi, I want to speak, you know, to the owner of the practice. And she was like, well, this is Dr. Lindsay, you know? And I was like, I literally walked in your office and I want to, you know more about you and see how we can work together. And she was like, okay. And I brought her and her former business partner coffee. And Lindsay basically wanted nothing to do with me at that point. And so I'm going to pass the baton and let Lindsay kind of tell you her story, but timing changes, you guys. And in the last couple of weeks, she's made a couple $1,000. You know, she's on the tails of Crystal Director. She's doing a ton of reach out. She's so highly motivated, but it has some great tips that I think everybody can learn from. And she's sending some of her verbiage and reach outs into our builder thread. And everybody's like, whoa, Lindsay, like that was so good. And I said, I've got to have her on the call to really be able to show some other people. So Lindsay, if you can go back to our story from our first meeting and what you thought about me and where you're at right now.
Yeah, because as a practitioner, we get vendors coming to us all the time. And like, I have someone popping in every single day. I'm in the office being like, you should try this, buy this, da da da. So Lauren comes in and she's like, oh, have you heard of isogenics? And I was like, oh my God. In my mind, I was like, I might have rolled my eyes out loud. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I rolled my eyes so hard. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But you didn't turn me off as like a person. I like you as a person. So I went to your Valentine's Day event. I was like, okay, I'll just like, come check it out. I love to network and do all the things. So yeah, that was like a year ago. And then you never really like pressured me into like doing anything at all. And like, I know you just like isogenics is your lifestyle. So it just gets peppered into conversation anyways. And like, I see you doing these trips and like doing all these fun things. And, we can go to yoga in the middle of the day and go get smoothie bowls. So finally, like this past year, early in the year, I like injured my shoulder. I mean, I've been injuring it a lot, but it got to a point one day where I couldn't even adjust anymore because it hurts so bad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had worked like this my entire life, I'm not even going to have like a shoulder to work with in like a year. So I just need to find something that has more residual income or passive income, something I can do that does not require me to trade my time for money, because I also want to work out in the middle of the day and have a flexible schedule. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to ask her about isogenics. And I told her, I'm like, okay, I want to basically replace my income and my revenue that I'm making at my practice. And I want to make that in isogenics, but instead of like giving 50% away of it for overhead, like I want to keep all of it. So like, I want to get to that point. And then what I've just been doing is like reaching out to a lot of people. So I kind of went like the cold calling route and just voice memoing and texting so many people on Instagram. Like I swear to God, I've DM'd at least like 500 people in the past 6 weeks. And I finally have gotten into a groove and finding the right people that I'm vibing with, where now it is leading into calls. And then I'm basically doing like a 30-minute call with them and figuring out their pain points, and then getting Lauren on the second call in order to talk about the business. Since I'm not like that familiar with the comp plan yet, I'm always surprised every Monday when it's like, you got paid. I'm like, oh, I did. So that's been game plan.
All around ID. Lindsay, you can put your handle in there. You guys see is dripping in the products in a way that are not salesy at all. Like I will tell you, I'm the worst on Instagram. Not great in stories. I'm like taking other people's screenshots and just trying to like show up that like no one goes to my page and there's nothing in there. But Lindsay is so cute and she's so relatable. You guys, she has a podcast too. So when you think about busy people and like how busy people don't have time for this, she's doing our IPA sheet. So if you've not looked at that in a while or producing activity log, I mean, I'm meeting her basically on Fridays. We get together, work out, get smoothie bowls, and sit down for a couple hours and help her with her reach outs on her Map to Crystal Executive and touch base on things. But I saw her folder and it was literally pages and pages and pages of the 3x3x3. Like, who are your reach outs? Who are your follow-ups? You know, what are your acts of service? She had her intention statements in there. And I was like, wow, and she is just doing the do. But between running a full-time practice, she has an amazing podcast, and now she's doing this, right? And she has a social life. Don't get yourself fooled that busy people can't do this, right? If they have it and have burning desire, they're going to come in and figure out how to make it work. So in between patients, if she has a consultation or a cancellation, she reaches out to a couple people, but when you watch her stories, it's just fun. You go like, I want to be a part of that. So she'll do certain things with like her workout. And she was talking about the XM and what that was like. I mean, the amount of people that reached out to her that was like, what is that product and how do I get it? And she was doing some fun giveaways. She was trying to get some enrollments leading up to one of the bonuses she was going for, and said like, first 5 people that enroll with a 30-day get a $25 gift card to Amazon, and that was in her stories, and a ton of people reached out. And then she was like, 4 people left, 3 people left, 2 people left, no more Amazon gift cards. And she got all these enrollments, and she was skiing. I mean, she was on a ski day with her husband, and I was watching this happen. And just to be able to like have that up, and she was in the lodge and on the chairlift, like going back up, was like only 2 left. And that's the epitome of like the joy of this business, but super coachable. Again, you guys, she's been on these calls now like 5 or 6 weeks in a row. She understands how much value is going to come in here. She's dripping on social media, but not vomiting everywhere, that she's like this crazy isogenics person on Instagram or Facebook. But the amount of reach outs, and what I really want to celebrate with her is the first couple weeks, I wouldn't say she got a lot of no's, she got nothing, like just
Yeah.
crickets. And for a lot of people, that would take them out of the game. When you see, like, you message 25 people and nobody responds to you, right? Like, that's tough. Like, that's hard. She's like, am I really going to be good at this? And I said, you're going to find your way. You're going to find your verbiage. And she was saying some things that Jessica had told her and saying some things that I had told her. And I gave her examples of other people like Erica and Jessica that I know send out an obscene amount of messages through social media. And I said, I promise you, the ones that are going to respond back to you are going to be good. I said, don't worry about who's not, just wait for the ones that are. And that's exactly what she's doing. And Lindsay is very educated. You know, they get on a call. She knows enough about the products and, you know, her story to be like, this is what happened to me. This is why I love it. Do you think it's something you'd want to do? And then goes right into a group message or a Zoom call with me. And the ability to use the system along with PVC, that is why she is getting paid every single Monday. And she's tracking her Map to Crystal executive. Like every day or every week when I see her, she's got it filled out. Who are her enrollments? She did a call with Janny Elo. Janny said, I need you to have that 3 levels deep. And she did. She literally showed up. She had it 3 levels deep, everybody on her left, everybody on her right. She knows who she is, you know, sharing and where they're going consultant. And she created a consultant yesterday, you know, like she's working, she's in between patients. And her good friend, who's also a practitioner, she helped enroll 2 people. And she's just really embodying the simplicity of this and the excitement of this, but really how many people are looking for this. And so there was a reason why we started the Work It call of this with practitioners, because you guys, that was my story too. I just thought there's no way I can see this many clients and patients for the rest of my life. I'm so burnt out. I don't love it anymore. And it doesn't mean every practitioner is going to quit their job, right? But there's people that want to be able to do it part-time, or they don't want to feel like they have got to work 40, 50 hours a week to make ends meet. And this income is so generous and so lucrative, and they can do alongside of it. And I'm going to leave you with this because she didn't bring it up, but it took me a while to introduce things to my clients and patients, because I was like, what are they going to think about me? You know? And I know Emily Sutherland went through that, and Lindsay was like that too. She's like, well, maybe I'm going to do this little event or something. But now she's at the point that, you know, a patient basically is like, oh, I'm just so stressed out. She's like, okay, well, you need these adaptogens and this is what they're going to do. And she like doesn't let them leave their office until she gets the link, because she was sending them the brochure with the QR code that we set up for her, but no one was closing. She was like, here, let me just text it to you. Now click on it. Now this is the next step. And she's basically watching them complete the enrollment, right? There was a couple that said, they wanted to lose a few pounds for spring break. And she was like, oh yeah, here's the 30-day, like text it to both of them, watch them complete the enrollment. And it's just kind of found her flow and that confidence. But this didn't happen yesterday. It didn't happen last week. I mean, this is a couple months of working really closely together and a year plus of her watching me, that you hear us say people quit before they really get started, right? Think about how long she went to school to become a chiropractor and to be good at it. Like if she had quit after that first week because she sent 50 messages and no one responded to her, she wouldn't be here. And so just, it's so important for you as leaders to encourage people and keep the belief in them. And for those of you brand new, you just have to keep going, right? Like it's so rich and it's so exciting and it's so lucrative, but just because it doesn't happen in the first 48 hours, 72 hours, first 30 days, you have no idea what's coming down the pipeline. So with our last little minute, Lindsay, will you just quickly talk about the events you're doing? Because you've had some really fun events and some really successful turnouts and what's coming in the pipeline.
Yes. Okay. So for events coming up, I'm doing a spring glow up. So we're doing mini facials with the facial place right next to my office. And then we're going to do like collagen cocktails, basically like a girls' night out, bring your bestie, and then we'll do a collagen talk. And then I'm also doing, oh my gosh, now I'm like blanking on the next one. Oh, well, we're going to be doing whoever else did this with the NAD and the IV and wellness aspect of it. So I'm going to have an IV person come in. We'll talk about, you know, NAD through an IV, NAD through isogenics, and then also just like a general wellness piece of it. So that's our next one coming up in April. And then I also have a couple other events lined up with another facial place and another esthetician. So I'm basically going to like bop into their businesses, and we're going to be doing all these like spring glow up parties for the next month or so, just to promote the collagen.
So fun, you guys, and I want you to remember, you don't have to be a practitioner to do this, right? But find a friend or a family member who can refer you to someone and you can partner with and set those events up. So I'm going and I'm supporting, right? But Lindsay's reaching out and saying, hey, here's what I do. Here's what you do. This is what I think we could do together. Are you open to doing an event that has mutual benefit for both of our clients? Everybody says yes to that. Right. And so if you are someone who doesn't have a practice, but you want to do an event with an esthetician, you can still approach them. Hey, I'm into all things beauty. I have a huge network of people that are obsessed with their skincare. You know, I love what you have to offer. Would you want to co-host an event together that we have mutual benefit, you know, from a business standpoint and a mutual value add to our customers and clients? I think we'd crush it together. You don't have to be a practitioner to do this, but I love that she's just really diving in and jumping in and partnering. So you guys, with that being said, I'm closing off our call. I hope that you found some value of new people, just new, excited, driven women that are out there crushing it, making their dreams come true. I cannot wait to continue to celebrate our enrollments and rank advancements as we push for that Crystal Director goal. We've got 6 weeks to get there, you guys. That's one consultant a week for the next 6 weeks, and so many of you guys can get that. So have a great night. We'll see you next Monday. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Appreciate you all.